and this is a review of the Fitness Tracker HR, which I have as of now been wearing for a whole day. And it does come with the manual, and then the need to register your warranty, and then how to charge it, which really just means that if you slip it in one way and you don't see this green thing, then you're not doing it right. Just turn around, and as with all USBs, I always kind of tend to put them in the wrong way. So off the top of my head, I mean, it does have its own app and everything, quite similar, but I actually have two. Well, I've been wearing them together, but I have a Fitbit Charge. So I have a Fitbit Charge in this one, and the thing about this one is that in under the sun, I found that this particular one has much more contrast than this one. I couldn't really, like, it would be hard for me to kind of see the time or the steps, etc. However, this, as you see, kind of disappear faster, which in a way is not a bad thing if you just get what you want real quick. And the way that this is formatted kind of like gives you the time, for example, right now, real quick. It's called JU Pro, and you go to that app, you sync it with your watch directly from the app. You cannot do that from your phone settings, from the Bluetooth settings. And we're seeing that it's syncing right now all the data. As of now, we do see that it registers about 7,496 steps, and I actually didn't know this functionality, but anyway, duration of I guess 3 hours and 48, and a distance of 4. And that's the thing; it does have the measurements in kilometers. And the weight and height, like, it's all metric. So I guess that's the walk thing, and then you can do the sleep. Well, it showed I slept 4 hours and 6 minutes yesterday, and like the way that they kind of showed different stages of sleep. Light sleep was 48 minutes, and deep sleep's 3 hours and 18 minutes. Really do not need week and month because I've only been wearing it for a day. Then heart rate, 93. Minimum heart rate is 54, average is 78, and the maximum is 104. At least that is what they got today. And then you kind of, they do have like this thing where it's like measuring more of the heart rate. I will say that in any attempt to compare these two, there will be differences just by the location, because both of them need to be within a certain distance of the wrist so they can detect the heart rate. But you know, this is as close as we can get to kind of compare all of them. I really didn't do any exercise, but it does give you the option of, like, deciding. And then, you can go, first for me I did, you can go to the device, which, by the way, the name is S5117E. I truly appreciate, you can do that with Fitbit too, but essentially the incoming call notification, yes, SMS notification, and even if you go there, it does like sort of ask you what notification would you like to receive. You can choose Twitter, Skype, WhatsApp, wherever. And as opposed to Fitbit, which I think binds you to 1 or maximum 2. I think I had another one a few months ago that was a little more you know, had a little more room for other messaging apps, but not this one, at least not the Charge 2. I do appreciate the alarm function and how easy it is and easy to schedule, and it is, you know, a thing that you can say, I just want it to ring once or not. Quite similar to the Fitbit 2, I did feel like there were, I think that the HR is a little more strong on vibration. I had timed them a little apart this morning, and you know, you can choose to have inactivity reminders or not, and apparently remote selfie, which you can, I guess, take pictures from your watch, but I have not used that setting. More setting is, you know, device. Let's say you're that's a funny thing. You lost your your device. You click device search, and it starts vibrating. And you can see, you do not see the vibration, but that's what happens, and I like that. You can do a power saving mode, device update, automatic heart rate rest, and then a time format. So the app is quite straightforward, you know, going back to the walk and trying to have a little more information. We did something, didn't we? Oh yeah, there you go. So it is giving us a little more information as to the kind of activity that I had today. So now that we have that kind of common sense in my mind, and I will include it in my review, I did want to kind of go back and go to the Fitbit. For the Fitbit, I'm sorry, for the other one, we had about 7,000, if you remember. It doesn't do a good kind of... so we had 7,000 steps. This is 5,000 or about 6,000 steps. So we're talking about like a difference of 1,500 steps. I never really thought that Fitbit was accurate necessarily, and so I know it registers, you know, times when I don't walk, and I know sometimes when I walk it doesn't register. So I cannot really say which one is the most accurate because I wasn't really counting my steps. This one has, you know, it tells us about the floor. The other one didn't. This one says 2.4 miles. The other one is about, like, I guess 4 kilometers, and different calories. This one registers 3 hours and 45 minutes in sleep. Kind of similar, I guess, in how much each section had, except I think the other one was quite the opposite. It had the deep sleep longer and the light sleep lighter or shorter. So we can sort of check that right now. Oh no, yeah, so it did have deep sleep 3 hours, and then the light sleep 48 minutes, which is actually more accurate. I did sleep pretty much more. So very hard to do any sort of kind of comparison without having an objective data. I think that being consistent along the way is for me the most important thing. And this is talking about heart rate. It does say that resting heart rate had been 70, and if I try to figure out if, like, the lowest they said was 50 something, this is 60 something, and then the highest they said was 100, and so there's about 10 beats per minute difference, in that this is 10 BPM higher than the other app. And you know, you can see that for Fitbit there are several other features there. different and more than the HR tracker. So in summary, I thought that, at least when this turned, this has much higher contrast than this one. I thought that this had much stronger vibration than the Fitbit as well. I mean, this is color. This has been much better at notifying me of any sort of notifications that are received in terms of messages, emails, or phone calls, where Fitbit has notoriously not been reliable, neither this one nor the previous ones that I owned, but this has been like annoyingly just buzzing and vibrating. It does a good job of alarms. I think in many ways this is, particularly because of this price, is incredibly exciting. Okay, so exciting. It's easy to kind of look at and figure out the time. I think truly for that price, I actually like it a little more. I do not know in terms of just specificity and sensitivity which one is the most reliable one, but I think whatever you stick with should be pretty much the same.